Leave him alone! After months of immigration crackdowns in cities across the United States, ICE is shifting its focus from mass arrests to mass detention. The agency now moving at high speed on a $38 billion plan to open new mega detention centers that would hold as many as 90,000 immigrants in giant warehouses across the country. Massive buildings like this one, 825,000 square feet in Washington County, Maryland, traditionally a conservative area. But some residents are protesting commissioner meetings here to voice their opposition to the project the county recently greenlit.
Human rights atrocities happening in my backyard, and it feels like our county commissioners have forgotten the fact that they're not our leaders, they're our representatives, and they haven't given us a chance to make public comment.
But other residents here say they support the plan.
Are you worried about the size of the warehouse?
No, not at all. I think the more, the merrier. Yeah, it's got to be big.
NBC News was the first to report on ICE's plans to buy warehouses, many sitting empty in 24 locations across the country. Some with the estimated capacity to hold 8,000 immigrants after arrest and before deportation, according to internal agency documents obtained by NBC News. For context, the largest federal prison in the U.S. holds 4,000 people. From facilities like Alligator Alcatraz to utilizing Guantanamo Bay, the warehouses are just the latest unorthodox push for detaining immigrants, which some have called inhumane. So far, ICE reporting at least 34 people have died in its custody during Trump's second term. Washington County commissioners approved the sale of the $102 million warehouse here in Maryland. But a federal judge just this week blocked the sale after the state sued, claiming the public was kept in the dark. The Trump administration may appeal the ruling, but neither the Departments of Homeland Security nor Justice responded to NBC questions about next steps. Previously, DHS told us the suit is, quote, about trying to stop President Trump from making America safe again, adding these will not be warehouses. They will be very well-structured detention facilities.
It would hold up to 1,500 people on this 54-acre property, and that would nearly double the population of this town in Williamsport, Maryland.
There may be a shift. NBC News reporting this week that the White House wants the GOP to focus on removing criminals, not the rhetoric of mass deportations. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is on her way out. But so far, there's no indication Senator Markwayne Mullin, who is expected to take her place, would abandon the warehouse plan. The controversy is playing out across the country, even with some Trump supporters saying, not in my backyard. Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi recently opposed a DHS plan in his state. Shortly after his post, ICE canceled its plans.
I think there's general support for the idea of building facilities in appropriate places, but in a suburban area with a lot of residential and commercial growth and potential, that was not at all the place.
A similar situation just played out in New Hampshire, with its Republican governor voicing concerns. Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen proposed legislation that would bar the purchase of new warehouses without the consent of state and local officials.
Tries to see that there is notification to Congress about what's being done, that there is input from local officials, that they get to weigh in.
And Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro warned the town of Tremont and his state would run out of water within 24 hours if ICE moves forward to open a facility there. Responding to widespread criticism, DHS telling NBC News in part, sites undergo community impact studies and a rigorous due diligence process to make sure there is no hardship on local utilities or infrastructure prior to purchase. Back in Washington County, Maryland, protesters are concerned not just about logistics or the impact on their community. Some are morally opposed.
The fact that they would want to take a warehouse that was built for packages and try to put people in it, and they would like to do this supposedly by April, is actually crazy. There's no way they could do that.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.